Making fantasy sports into a reality, it's the Shports Talk Weekend Preview. Brought to you by Paulina's Pizzeria, voted the best of the Big Bend.
Welcome back to Shports Talk, where we make fantasy sports into a reality. It's time to go over some of the players of the week.
We need to do this more often.
Yeah.
One, because Lee Gordon's not here. And two, well, because they feed us, my man. They're feeding us.
They are feeding us.
Very excited about this.
And we, by the way, as you can notice, we are at Famous Dave's right now in Tallahassee, just off of Capitol Circle, one of the best places to get some good
I'm telling you. And they got the outdoor seating, which, by the way, always fun.
Especially when it comes to summer, you can cool down with the cool drinks and enjoy yourself.
We're big fans. All right, we're picking our players. How did we do last week, Mr. I took 2 blue chips?
All right, I happen to have landed in first place, which really
I
should
wonder
be a
how that
surprise.
happened.
You ended up getting second. Lee Gordon.
I wonder how that happened.
Lee Gordon came in last, so for that reason was not invited.
Wow.
Was not invited.
So there's a penalty now for coming in last.
If you come in last place, you will not not get the fruits of the labor.
I'm steady second place all year, baby.
And I'll continue to get first if that's the case. All right, now it's time to go over some of the players. Let's start with the blue chips. You're going to go with the starting pitcher.
Starting pitcher.
We'll move to the AL. Well, always the AL, but now in Seattle.
Now it's in Seattle, and Seattle's struggling a little bit. Eric Bedard comes off the DL, has a couple of wins. He had a nice outing against the Yankees last week. Didn't win because the team couldn't hit. I tell you this, Eric Bedard is going to put up a nice number. Seattle's a better team than they've been playing early in the season. Just like last week, I went for John Lester just because I thought this is the kind of pitcher that can really snap that team out of a funk.
He did.
I think Eric Bedard is the guy that can do that, and he is a blue chip pitcher. I like him this week, and I like who he's playing this week.
Okay, well, I'm going to first take Lee's pick. Lee's going to go with Johan Santana. I can't blame the guy, one of the best pitchers in the game. I'm going to go with the guy who's surprising us by so far being the best pitcher in the National League, and his name is Brandon Webb, probably the best pitcher in baseball right now.
Tough to argue.
This is a sinker ball pitcher, and his pitch is sinking right now. He's been fantastic.
Yeah.
He gets strikeouts. He puts the ball in play, which is good news because he has a good defense behind him. Getting a lot of wins. Arizona, so far, might be the best team in the NL.
Let me tell you, fabulous start to the season. What a great month, April.
Very strong start, no question about it. Now it's time for middle infield, and we do not have the blue chips.
No blue chip, are you sure?
So I'm going to have to stretch here. Freddie Sanchez.
You're going to be okay.
Freddie Sanchez.
Okay.
That's not a blue chip.
That's not, that'll qualify.
But this is the thing about him. He gives you great average. And that's one of those one-dimensional guys. He's going to hit 320 at the end of the year. Might not get more than 15 home runs. Might not get as many as 80 RBIs. He doesn't get many steals either, but he hits for average.
And you can't find a guy at every position that does 5 things well. If you did, they'd all be all-stars.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to draft all those guys. So I understand that pick. Who did Elroy take? Because he's not here.
Yeah, Elroy's going to go with Ryan Theriot, who's a
excellent. That's an
Chicago
excellent pick.
Cub. I mean, you have to go with that. And the guy is good at stolen bases, also leading off for that team right now. See what happens when Soriano's back in the mix. But this is a guy who's able to score a bunch of runs. He's able to hit for average. He brings that to the table. Makes sense that he would pick him.
All right, well, he went with a Cub. You've taken your Met. I'll take one of my Yankees, and I'm going to take Robinson Cano. The reason I'm taking him now is because he's been Robinson Cannot so far this season. He has finally started to hit the ball out of the park. And I think that's something that's going to continue with him. He needed to get his rhythm back. He didn't have it. He's been working extra hard. And in the batting cages, the guys around him are hitting, all except Jason Giambi. You know what? It's tough to look past Robinson Cano. He's going to start doing better.
And as far as outfield, my man.
Oh, as far as outfield, well, now
sitting on the dock of the bay, I hear.
I'm going to take me a National Leaguer, by the way. How about that? Which is rare for me.
Don't see it often.
But here's what I like about Jason Bay. Of his hits this season, 1 out of every 5, it's a home run.
Well, he doesn't get many hits.
I was going to say, he doesn't have 50 hits, but he still has 30 hits, and 1 out of 5 is a home run. That's nice, and I'm going to take that in the outfield. Outfield's a guy you're looking for production that's going to give you some pop. Jason Bay's the guy with it.
He's not here to defend himself, but Lee's going to go with Grady Sizemore, who's probably a blue chip. You know, he's kind of stealing the thunder a little bit here.
The two of you. The two you don't know. You don't know the rules.
Me in that categorization.
Last week, Michael Young. This year, all right, whatever.
All right, listen. The fact is, Grady Sizemore is a good pick by him. He's a 30-30 type guy. He hits for average. But he's struggling so far. The team he's on, the Indians, have been struggling. All right, my outfield pick, finally, one of the hottest players in baseball, the reigning NL Player of the Week, Matt Kemp, has been sensational. Smart move. They bring in Joe Torre. You might have heard of him. He's starting to play the younger players, but the best part of younger players, they have the highest ceiling, the best potential. It's like you. You're over the hill. I'm a young gun on the rise. The fact is that Matt Kemp is a guy who's going to put up some
You're a young something.
Yeah, I'm not going to go. The fact is Kemp has been solid so far. He's my pick to click
Cold
this
beverage,
week.
warm day. I love it. The Famous Dave's treating us very well. Yeah. The players of the week, I think it's another steady second place for me.
Well, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, let's take our time to enjoy ourselves. That's all of the Shports Talk for now. We'll see you next week.